There's a book called Writing Down the Bones by, like Natalie Goldberg, I think.
Okay.
I love that book for anybody who's just passionate about what they do. The book is about writing, but I like the book for anybody who's just about like passionate about what they do. So when I was reading her book, which is actually, I was reading it because I was in school for creative writing for a hot second.
Nice.
But my passion is yoga and teaching yoga and yoga therapy. So when reading the book, I let my brain switch the word from writer or writing to like yoga or yoga teacher and that kind of jazz. And one of the things she talks about is there's a quote that she references in the book called, "Don't be a writer, be writing." Right? So like, don't be a comedian, be comedian. I don't know what's the proper gerund for that is. But all that to say is she also talks about one of her students that was in like her writing class. And she encourages people to, when you sit down to be at the paper, let whatever comes out. If it's the same phrase over and over again, write it out till until something else comes out.
Yeah.
And she, excuse my language here, but she talks about one student in particular in their writing exercise. It was like something like just write whatever comes to mind. And it was just pages of the word penis. Just pages of the word penis. She took a moment to talk about the beauty of just like relentlessly, regardless of anyone, being where you're at and being honest with yourself at that. And like, that's just what he wanted to write. And she did go on to say, like, he turned out to be like one of her most like inspiring students.
Yeah.
Because he had the willingness to show up in the present of who he was rather than trying to mask and be like,
yeah,
what does a teacher want?
I will do I'll sit down to write. I try to do an hour every day. And sometimes I will just be writing the thoughts that are coming to my head, and all of them are just so fucking benign. And then I'll write the same word again. I'll write the same phrase to like start a joke again.
If you start with expectation, it creates a mindset in the brain that if X, Y, and Z happens, I will get 1, 2, 3 as a result.
Okay.
Right? But the thing is about wellness, we are working to align ourselves with our individual purpose, individual intuitive understanding or inner wisdom.
Okay.
And if that's a thing you've never touched before, then you can't have expectations for a thing you've never experienced. So now that success has been built on an expectation that will never be attained, regardless of whether or not you have a positive experience, failure is the inevitable because the expectation did not happen. Expectations are not real.
And then happiness is expectations versus reality.